1962, a year of promise
We choose to go to the moon.
and challenge. And the International Association of Movers is founded, giving carriers doing business with the United States government a voice and a presence in Washington. Some people said it was impossible to influence a customer as large as the U.S. government. Others, like trial lawyer Alan F. Woolstetter and representatives from 18 of the best-known carriers in the nation, rose to the challenge.
Everybody said I was crazy when I said we could get a regulated permit so that the Department of Defense would have to do business with us by putting unaccompanied baggage as a separate commodity with household goods.
In his living room, Alan and the carriers lay out a plan. Exciting things were about to happen.
This was a group of entities that banded together with a common cause, and he was the focal point of that group. He was the one that they would all come to, and then he was the one to reach out to the Department of Defense to be able to help them understand what the needs of their providers were.
And so, on November 26, 1962, the Household Goods Forwarders Association of America is formally incorporated.
It started as a very small group of people focused on one thing, military moving. But obviously they saw the need of the people that support them in that. They brought the agents into the association, and bringing the agents, they saw the needs of the agents were beyond the military moving, and it just grew from that.
My first affiliation came in about 1964. My father was one of the active people who got the thing going in the very beginning, and I was living in Japan and he was living in Los Angeles, and he said, "Come on back and I want to take you to this meeting."
By 1965, associate members outnumber active members 48 to 44. Also in 1965, the association attains one more trusted friend, Bell Carrington.
When I came on as the bookkeeper, they had one manual typewriter and maybe 3 desks.
Throughout the 1960s and 70s, HHGFAA continues to grow in membership and in stature within the industry.
I remember the first 1 or 2 meetings. I guess I knew everybody. I believe we were 70 people. It was a big success, and then 120 or 130 people, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger.
And when we had these conventions, Ralph Johnson was a fanatic about his people talking business while they were at the conventions and not stand around and talk to each other. And in order to keep track of us, he bought us bright red corduroy sports jackets. And he never wanted to see 2 red jackets together. And it became a legend in the association. They were called the Red Jackets. And everybody knew us, and everybody knew Van Pack.
And Alan, year by year, starting out with the small membership, and he watched it grow. And he was responsible for bringing in a great man, Calvin Stein, as the first chairman, followed by Colonel Don Mensch, and presently Terry Head.
I think one point people aren't cognizant of is the fact that I'm only the 3rd president in the 50-year history of this association. I think it says stability, for one thing, both at the level of president, but more importantly in the chairman's position and the board positions. One thing that's been good about IAM is its stable leadership.
And I think when Terry came on board, that's when a lot of changes started. We didn't have, a website. We didn't even have a modern telephone system. He actually took our annual meetings to 2 or 3 steps above where we were at the time, increasing the number of workshops we had, recognizing the commercial side of the membership, where in the past it was all military.
And Terry did a fantastic job bringing us into the 21st century. Our portal is trade publication second to none. The communication to members was improved 1,000% from what it had been, and we were state of the art for once instead of kind of behind the curve.
In the year 2000, the association creates a new way to involve its younger members.
I went to Washington, D.C., and I made friends with a couple of other young movers, and we were talking about how it would be neat to have an organization for the younger people that didn't know everybody, that didn't have a family connection, hadn't been in the business for 40 years. And oh, that would be really neat. It would be so beneficial. Everybody could network, and these would be the people that in the future would be running the industry. And just coincidentally, at that meeting, one of the people I'd been talking to ran into Terry Head waiting for a taxi and pitched the idea to him. And then next year, YP35 was born.
But during the next year, 2001, on 9/11, members young and old are all taken by surprise.
9/11, that was a time, I think, that no one knew what was going on. We were having trouble getting access to the base because every base in Hawaii has a different set of protocol. And what we were finding was that it was taking forever for us to get trucks and crews onto some of the bases.
I think 9/11 really proved to us, and more importantly to the membership, how important belonging to an association could be. That's how they got their information about security regulations. That's how they provided governments information about how they could respond to and live under the security regulations that were out there. So there's no doubt about it, 9/11 was a key turning point in the evolution of this association and the industry.
Once that happened, then the information was quickly disseminated to us, and not just disseminated and we were left to flounder. They gave it to us and offered an avenue to figure out how to use it, where we would need it, what requirements would need to be met, what changes would have to be made, if any at all, to get what we needed to do done and done well.
In 2002, as part of the association's 40th anniversary, the Alan F. Woolstetter Scholarship Fund is established.
Well, I probably am the most involved right now with the Alan F. Woolstetter Scholarship Fund. I'm the chairman of the fundraising committee, and so that takes up a lot of my time, and I just appreciate everyone who has donated to the scholarships, and we've had some great candidates that we've given scholarships to, so it's been a very big success story.
Soon, the organization's first website hits the internet, providing information as well as meeting registration services.
We have been a very strong voice to all of the key government entities that are making the laws and making the statutes that our folks have to deal with in doing commerce and moving goods and services across borders.
I think the communication is just an absolute key for us to have a voice in Washington, D.C., to have an idea of what's going on. I think that is just extremely important.
Given the welcome increase in numbers over the years of members from around the world, it was decided in 2009 that this organization's name should become the International Association of Movers.
I think anybody that does international moving has to be in IAM because that is the most important association as of now that connects international movers worldwide.
Building international friendships. I know a few people here that they're more than brothers and sisters to me.
Because the friendship is what really gets you inside of a family or in a group of people who trust you and you are an agent for them in your country, and you will remain a member of that friendship and that family in that country forever.
The exhibitors that are here as well, it's always to see the new innovative things that are out there for us, things that can help the business.
I've had some exhibitors tell me that they have done more business at our annual meeting than they do the entire whole year.
And as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of IAM, it's important to remember that this is not the end of the line.
There's really only one way for folks to be able to predict the future, and that's by gathering the most information that they can. I mean, we believe information is the key for them to be able to understand what's necessary to prosper in the future.
We believe that it's going to be those companies who embrace and fully exploit the social networking and social media tools that will prosper in the near future.
There's no doubt that the importance of this association continues to grow, and I don't see that changing. We want to provide the services and products that our members need us to provide.
IAM represents the major force in major impact in the world of moving.
IAM is the largest international moving association in the world, and we wanted to be associated with the biggest and the best, which we felt was IAM.
I don't think we're a better company now. I know we're a better company now because of IAM.